Okay, so I woke up this morning and I checked my email to see that YouTube is screwing us again. And when I say us, I don't necessarily mean me specifically or anyone who's in the YouTube partnership program. It's really just screwing the new people in the community. You may already know this, but here's a little bit of backstory so that you understand what's happening. You see, in the very beginning, YouTube didn't monetize the same way that they do now at all, and no one really made any money on YouTube. But then in the late 2000s, and in 2007, they started rolling out the partnership program where they would run ads on your channel. You see, what YouTube is it's a content farm, and they don't produce the content. So it's basically like a network television channel, but all the shows are all the things that we produce. So they run ads on our shows, and then they get some money and we get some money and everyone's happy. Eventually, obviously, they realize they make the most money when they just run ads on everybody's channel. So around 2012, 13, everybody was pretty much a partner. If you made a YouTube channel, you just had ads. But then we ran into the adpocalypses that happened. There was some stuff with Logan Paul, some stuff with PewDiePie, but the important one to me, the one that was the most predatory, was a guy from Wall Street Journal decided to go and try to find racist content on YouTube. Then he would refresh the video until he got an ad from someone huge like Coke. Then he goes and writes an article saying that Coke is sponsoring racist videos on YouTube. So that freaked out a bunch of big brands who pulled out of YouTube. And so even if YouTube didn't do anything, there was an adpocalypse just because all these brands were pulling out and there was a lot less money flowing through the ecosystem. So YouTube's problem was that if a big ad was playing on some kind of racist or terroristic content, then it looked like that ad was associated, like that was a purposely purchased ad or something, which we all know it wasn't, but the news, right? So the fix was to put some restrictions in front of you becoming a YouTube partner again. The new hoops you had to jump through is you had to have 400 watch hours on your content and 1,000 subscribers. The hope being is it would keep someone from just making a new YouTube account saying some racist stuff and then having ads play on it. And that if you were making content that was breaking their terms of service, by the time you got to 1,000 subscribers and 400 watch hours, you probably would be reported to death by then anyway. An annoying but relatively elegant solution. Fast forward to today, and they're trying to have their cake and eat it too at the cost of the people who are making the content for YouTube. They've decided that's their right to monetize any video that they want, which I completely agree. But what's happening here is a whole bunch of people basically got kicked out of the YouTube partnership program, and now that it's been a while and no one's really mad at them anymore, they're just going to roll back the system to when they're putting ads on everyone's content. But here's the kicker: people who don't fit the partnership program will still have ads playing on their channel, but they don't get any of the revenue. And then they try to sell it like it's a nice thing that they're doing for you, that you can still, no, don't worry, you can still go ahead and apply for the program when you qualify, and then you'll start getting paid. So YouTube got smacked in the mouth because they had a hole in their system that allowed for some creepy stuff going on with advertisers. They did a temporary fix, and when they went to go roll things back, they didn't roll it back to how it was, which worked for everybody the best. They rolled it back so that they end up making money, and other people are content producers who aren't seeing any money from this. Like, literally, they have people making YouTube videos, and they're running their ads, getting paid for the ads on those YouTube videos, and then those people aren't seeing a cent from it. YouTube is completely trash. And here's the problem. There's a handful of websites out there that I think are actually quite a bit better than YouTube in almost all of its functionality, except the YouTube algorithm is how you get discovered. That's the reason that a person can put out a viral video or something, and then in a couple of months theoretically end up with millions of subscribers. It's a hellaciously unreliable funnel. It's a nightmare. Like, I've been doing this for long enough that, theoretically I could have had a big channel by now, but I don't. But the fact that it's possible is why it's the only game in town. No one else can really compete, and no one else really has the power behind them. No one has the server processing power behind them to really compete with YouTube, except for Pornhub. You see, you may have heard this before, but a lot of people are saying that Pornhub really should be the one who tries to be the competitor against YouTube, because Pornhub in reality is basically just YouTube for porn. Almost everything about its system works the same. They even have it where like community members can go and publish their own stuff on Pornhub and have ads run and then make money off of those ads. So in essence, Pornhub is literally just already YouTube. So it would take them like, I don't know, a week to make a duplicate version that's just not for porn and is just for any kind of video. And they already have this massive infrastructure that could legitimately compete with YouTube. So I say I'm all for it. I think the biggest thing YouTube needs right now is a competitor. I think that they're awful, and I think that they treat their creators like crap. And the problem we suffer from is that they have a complete monopoly on this kind of thing. They are to video entertainment on the internet as like the Rockefellers were to Standard Oil. So to help beat this nightmare situation of just only being able to use YouTube and having to suck it up every time they screw over their creators, it would be really nice if Pornhub had, not Pornhub or something like that. But I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I was pissed off, so I figured I'd make a video about it. So whatever.